today we will discuss some of the important questions of general principle and process of isolation of elements. Let us discuss the first question. Which of the ore can be concentrated by magnetic separation? Answer is all those ores which are attracted by magnet can be separated by magnetic separation. Hence, hematite, magnetite, siderite or iron pyrite can be concentrated. Next question is the reduction of chromium oxide with aluminium to give aluminium oxide plus chromium. For this reaction the delta G is minus 421 kilojoule is thermodynamically feasible as apparent from the Gibbs energy value. Why this reaction does not take place at room temperature? The simple reason is certain amount of energy called as activation energy is required for this reaction. Hence this reaction does not take place at room temperature. Next question is, can copper be extracted by hydrometallurgy? Copper can be extracted by hydrometallurgy but zinc is not. The reason behind it is copper when leached with acidic water it forms copper ions, and these copper ions can be precipitated as copper by using zinc as reducing agent, because in this case the E0 value for zinc is more negative than that of copper. But we know that zinc is a reactive metal. For hydrometallurgy of zinc ions we need much more stronger reducing agent like magnesium, potassium, aluminium, etc. But they can't be used, because in this case if they are used as a reducing agent at that time, instead of reduction what they will do, they will react with water and produce hydrogen gas as the solution is aqueous in this case. Thus zinc, due to its high reactivity, cannot be reduced by the reactive elements like magnesium, aluminium, in spite of the fact that magnesium, aluminium has higher negative E0 value. Next question is, what is the role of depressant in froth flotation process? The role of depressant is to prevent certain type of particle from forming the froth with air bubble. We know that this process is used for sulfide ores. Suppose a mixture has two sulfide ores, PbS and ZnS. Only PbS will form bubbles with air, while the sodium cyanide, which act as a depressant, it will form a soluble complex with ZnS, that is Na2ZnCN4. Thus this soluble complex remains in the solution. Next question is the main principle of zone refining and column chromatography. In case of zone refining, it is used for purification of semiconductors like silicon, germanium, etc. Here the impurities are more soluble in molten form than in solid state of metal. And the principle of column chromatography is that the different substances of impure substance, it is based on the principle that the different substances are adsorbed to different extent on the surface of adsorbent. In this particular case, the impure substance is mixed with suitable solvent and pour over the adsorbent taken in a column, and different substances they are adsorbed to different extent in the column. Next question is, out of carbon and carbon monoxide, which is better reducing agent? For this, look at this graph. You can see here when the temperature is low, for example the temperature is 400 or 600, at that time the pink color curve for formation delta G0, formation of carbon dioxide from carbon monoxide, lies below the delta G curve for formation of carbon dioxide from carbon. Hence at low temperature carbon monoxide will act as a better reducing agent. But when temperature is above 1073 K, you can see here at that time the orange color curve, that is delta G naught formation for carbon dioxide from carbon, is on upper side, is on lower side, while the delta F G naught for formation of carbon dioxide from carbon monoxide, now it becomes on upper side. So at higher temperature carbon will act as a stronger reducing agent. Thus you can conclude here at 673 the delta G naught carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide line lies below delta G naught carbon comma carbon dioxide line in Ellingham diagram. So at temperature 673 carbon monoxide will be a better reducing agent, but at higher temperature carbon will act as a stronger reducing agent. Next question is, how is cast iron different from pig iron? We know that in blast furnace the iron obtained is called as pig iron. It is one of the most impure form of iron which contain almost 4% of carbon and small traces of sulfur, phosphorus, silicon, manganese, etc. But when this pig iron is melted with scrap iron using coke and hot air blast, at that time the carbon percentage is decreased to 3%, and thus we get cast iron. And one more difference is pig iron is soft while cast iron is extremely hard and brittle. Next question, what is the role of cryolite in metallurgy of aluminium? Cryolite makes the alumina solution conductive. Therefore, it increases the conductivity or electrical conductivity of alumina, and moreover, it lowers the melting point of alumina from 2323 K to 1140 K. तो दो काम कर रहा है क्रायोलाइट, एक मेल्टिंग पॉइंट या फ्यूजन टेम्परेचर को लोअर कर रहा है एल्यूमिना के, और दूसरा उसकी कंडक्टिविटी को बढ़ा रहा है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. Which of the following ore can be concentrated by a froth flotation? As the name shows, froth flotation, the immediate response will be sulfide ore. So answer is ZNS. Next is, what is the role of silica in metallurgy of copper? Very important question. The role of silica in metallurgy of copper is to act as a flux. This is a substance which reacts with iron oxide. This iron oxide is produced from oxidation of iron sulfide. This iron oxide combines with flux and forms impurity as slag, and this impurity is called as FeSiO3, that is iron silicate is formed. Therefore, silica acts as a flux. It removes iron oxide impurities as slag. Next question is question number, write the principle of vapor phase refining. In case of vapor phase refining, it is a method of refining in which metals like nickel, zirconium, they are changed into volatile compounds, while impurities does not form volatile compound, and when this volatile compound is heated at higher temperature, it gives pure metal. So pure metal is produced. Next is, what is the role of NaCN in extraction of silver? NaCN acts as a leaching agent. It forms a soluble complex with silver. Recall the equation, 4Ag plus 8Cn plus 1 oxygen plus 2 water. It forms a soluble complex, that is 4NaAgCN twice plus 4NaOH. Therefore, With the help of NaCN, the silver is dissolved and it is changed into soluble complex, that is sodium dicyanoargentate. Next is, what is the role of collector in froth flotation process? Collectors like pine oil increases the non-wettability of ore particles in froth flotation process. तो जो ore particles हैं, they are not wet by the water, hence they become lighter, they are taken away with bubbles as a froth. Next question is, write the principle used for refining of germanium. This question is already discussed under the heading John refining, that impurities are more soluble in molten state than in solid state of metal. Next question again done. PbS and PbCO3 are the two ores of lead which is concentrated by froth flotation process. You know that froth flotation process is used for PbS sulfide ores. Next is, what is the significance of leaching in extraction of alumina? Leaching helps in removing the impurities like iron oxide, like titanium oxide, like silicon dioxide from powdered bauxite ore, and leaching is done with the help of NaOH. The solution is warm and thus the impurities are removed, that is the impurities like iron oxide and titanium oxide are removed by filtration, while the alumina dissolves in NaOH and it can be precipitated by passing carbon dioxide. Next question is, what is the principle of electrolytic refining? In case of electrolytic refining, we pass electric current through metal ion from electrolytic solution. The metal ions from the electrolytic solutions are deposited at cathode in form of pure metal, while equivalent amount of metal dissolves from anode and goes to the electrolytic solution. For example, if I write here anode made up of impure copper, copper will dissolve as copper 2 positive ion. This is a anodic reaction. And if I write cathodic reaction, the same amount, equivalent amount of copper 2 positive ion will move toward cathode and get deposited as copper metal which is pure. Next is, this question. Give one example of acidic and basic flux. Acidic flux is SiO2, while basic flux is metal oxide. It can be calcium oxide, it can be magnesium oxide, etc. Next is, what happens when copper oxide undergoes self reduction in silica line converter? In silica line converter, there is two things present, not only copper oxide but also copper sulfide. So auto reduction takes place and copper metal is produced plus sulfur dioxide is evolved. Next is, hematite oxidizes carbon to carbon monoxide. Hematite is Fe2O3. It combines with carbon, it forms carbon monoxide and iron is produced. Next is, how is concept of coupling reaction useful in explaining the occurrence of non-spontaneous thermochemical reaction? Those reactions which are non-spontaneous, they can be made spontaneous by coupling with some other reaction for which delta G is highly negative, so that overall delta G total of two reaction becomes negative and reaction becomes spontaneous. Let us see the example. Here if you see the reduction of iron oxide to iron metal, delta G is positive. This reaction is non-spontaneous. But When we use carbon monoxide as a reducing agent, you can see here delta G is negative. If you balance this equation, the overall delta G becomes negative, so reaction becomes spontaneous in presence of reducing agent, that is carbon monoxide. Therefore, this reducing agent reaction provides large negative free energy, thus making the overall reaction highly spontaneous. Next, the reduction of metal oxide is easier if metal formed in liquid state. According to this, the reduction of metal oxide is easier. Suppose metal oxide is taken in solid, and if you get metal in liquid, at this time you can see delta S is positive because you are changing the state from solid to liquid, and we know that delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. If delta S is positive, the whole term will become negative, and delta H value is constant, so overall delta G becomes negative, so reaction becomes spontaneous. Next is, what is the role of limestone in manufacture of pig iron from hematite? The limestone on heating get converted into calcium oxides. This calcium oxide act as a flux. It combines with sand impurities, silica impurities to form slag, that is CaSiO3. So calcium oxide act as a flux, and this flux is provided with the help of calcium carbonate. Thus limestone provide the flux calcium oxide, which combines with the impurity of SiO2 to form slag, that is calcium silicate. Next, that is all. Thank you.